So you're looking to move to the Seattle suburbs? In this video, I'm going to talk about the 5 best suburbs of Seattle to buy a house in 2024. So stay tuned. As always, I'm Bryce Greenleaf, local real estate broker here in the greater Seattle area. I love helping you guys out. Those of you that reach out to me here from YouTube when you're making the move over to the Seattle area, or if you already live here and you're just looking to buy a home. If you'd like to reach out to me to discuss the options of buying a home and trying to find that right place for you to move, feel free to reach out to me. You can book a discovery call at my link below, or just reach out directly to me at my info below as well. But like I said, on this video, I'm going to talk about the 5 best suburbs of Seattle for you to buy a home in. Now, this isn't my opinion on the best places to move to and the best cities with the most to do and the most amenities and any of that. This is based specifically on median home values, in which 5 cities have had the highest amount of growth in median home values over the last 5 years. So we're just basing this entirely on the numbers. I'm going to give you my opinion of these cities as well as we break them down. All right, so we're going to go 5 through 1. The lowest increase in median home value, again, the lowest of the top 5, but still one of the top 5, all the way to the highest increase in median home value, city number 1, and it might surprise you a little bit. So stay tuned for that one. All right, so number 5 we have here is Mukilteo. Now, Mukilteo is about 20-ish miles north of Seattle. It's located on the west side. This is actually the only city on the list here we have on the west side, closer to the I-5 corridor. Now, Mukilteo has seen a 79% increase in median home values over the last 5 years. Currently, it sits at $1,075,000. That is up from $600,000 in early 2019. Just an absolutely crazy growth in home prices over that time span. Now, what makes this even a little bit more unique than some of the other cities, where those cities are propped up by median home values jumping because of new build, new construction communities going in the area, Mukilteo is not that way. It is located on the west side, so they're not building large master plan communities all over the place because, well, there's no more land available. So the fact that they've jumped 79% in median home values just on resale homes is quite impressive, and for you that might be looking to buy into Mukilteo, gives you some confidence on those home values continually rising and being very stable for years to come. Now, Mukilteo has a lot going for it. One thing that I hear from a lot of people that are moving over here, and they're specifically targeting Mukilteo, and is true with the reputation around here, is the great schools. It's got, when you compare it to all the immediately surrounding cities up here in Snohomish County, it has the best rated school district. When you look at niche.com or greatschools.org, all of those resources online that show us those district ratings. Now, along with this, Mukilteo is located near the water. So this is really great access for those that want to take advantage of being close to the beach and spending those nice summer days there right down at the beach and whatnot, and all the great restaurants that are down there. You're close to the ferry terminal, so you can take some day trips. So it has really great access to that outdoor recreation. Along with that, there's a lot of neighborhoods in Mukilteo that are older, established neighborhoods, most of them. They don't have HOA, so it gives people a little bit more freedom. There's a bit more uniqueness when it comes to the architecture, and there's a lot of view homes. So if you're looking for something with potentially a view of the Puget Sound, Mukilteo is a place that you can find that as well. It's also located next to high-paying jobs. You're very close to Boeing here in Everett, so a lot of Boeing workers that live in Mukilteo, and it's a relatively doable commute down to Seattle. So there's a number of people that work downtown in Seattle, and they live up in Mukilteo. It's not the quickest drive, of course, but it's close enough that there are a number of people that live in Mukilteo and work downtown. All right, city number 4 here we're going to talk about. This is Black Diamond. Now, Black Diamond is 33 miles southeast of Seattle. Now, if you know Black Diamond, maybe you've heard the name 10 Trails before. Black Diamond is really known for its new construction, and that's why it has really blown up over the recent years. We've seen an increase of 87% in median home values in Black Diamond. Currently, median home values sit at about $867,000. In 2019, they were $463,000. Now, again, like I mentioned, this is most largely due to the 10 Trails community, the new build homes that have gone up there over the last 5+ years. Now, this is one of the top #1 destinations for those people that are moving over here and they tell me they want to buy a new construction home. A lot of my buyers end up shopping in the 10 Trails community. Some of them end up there, some of them don't. But the reason why it's so popular is because the number of different homes that are available in this community. And of course, that price point is much more doable than cities that are closer to Seattle. Now, when it comes to commuting from Black Diamond to Seattle, if that's a concern of yours, it can be a difficult commute. I know some people that do it. It's not easy. I know the people I know that do it 2 to 3 days a week. 5 days a week going from Black Diamond to Seattle would be a bit rough. Again, people that do it, but just keep that in mind. Check out those commute times during the rush hour times if that's when you'd be going to work to see if that's something you can swallow. People from California tell me here our traffic's not that bad, and then somebody will come from Utah and think our traffic is terrible. So it's all about perspective and what you're used to, but that is not going to be the easiest of drives going from Black Diamond to Seattle or Black Diamond to Bellevue if that's where you might be working. All right, city number 3 here is Bellevue. So you've probably heard of Bellevue before. This is located 10 miles directly east of Seattle, just over Lake Washington. Now, Bellevue is one of our largest downtown areas here outside of Seattle. It's, the second largest downtown area, and there's a lot of people that want to be in Bellevue. It's the most expensive place to live in Washington state. Median home prices have climbed by 93% over the last 5 years. They currently sit at just over 1.8 million. That's up from 968,000 in 2019. So an absolute explosion in those median home prices. Now, a lot of people come over here and they visit Seattle and then they visit Bellevue, the two biggest urban centers in this greater area, and they really realize that Bellevue is a completely different world than Seattle. Only 10 miles away, it feels like a completely different atmosphere. The downtown area is clean, doesn't suffer from the homelessness crisis and public drug use and graffiti and trash in the streets like its counterpart Seattle does. So a lot of people want to end up in Bellevue because they feel like it's a little bit more of a luxurious urban lifestyle. Now, there's a lot of neighborhoods outside of downtown Bellevue, of course, that'll give you that suburban lifestyle, and you're located next to some of the best schools in the state and the highest paying jobs in the state as well, with companies like Google and Microsoft and Amazon and lots of other high paying tech jobs and finance jobs and healthcare jobs right in this area. So that's why so many people are trying to get into Bellevue. Great, nice neighborhoods, a lot of luxury homes if that's what you're shopping for. Bellevue is, one of the most desirable places, probably, in the state of Washington for sure, and maybe even the country. But there's a lot to do with shopping and restaurants and everything that downtown offers. Golf courses, parks all over the place, access to lakes. You can do just about everything in Bellevue when you take into account living in the Pacific Northwest. All right, city number 2 here, the second fastest growing suburb of Seattle over the last 5 years is Snohomish. Now, Snohomish is located about 30 miles northeast of Seattle. Now, Snohomish is pretty unique, a little bit more unique from these other 3 cities we've covered. I'll get to that in a second. But median home values have increased by 94% over the last 5 years. They are now just over $1 million for the median home price, up from $540,000 in 2019. That kind of growth is crazy as well. There's a lot. This is also one of the more popular destinations when I'm helping people that are relocating here to the Seattle area from out of state. Snohomish is always one of those cities that is close to the top of the list for everybody because it offers a lot that some other cities don't offer. The unique thing about Snohomish is kind of the rural lifestyle that it offers, or semi-rural as I like to say it. There's a lot of people that want to have more space. They want to be on an acre or 5 acres or 10 acres. But they don't want to feel like they're completely way out living a totally rural lifestyle. They still want to be close to amenities, and Snohomish certainly offers that. It's one of the best cities in the metropolitan area to get that kind of lifestyle where you can have a 5-acre property and still be able to get to the store in 5 to 10 minutes. Snohomish also has a great historic downtown area, so if you enjoy walking around, going to shops and restaurants and grabbing a drink, taking in community events and parades and all sorts of things down there in Snohomish. That is a great spot. My wife and I go there relatively often and just taking a nice sunny day downtown in Snohomish. You also have Blackman's Lake that's close by. That's great for the kids to go swimming, a very small lake right there in Snohomish. And you have all the fall time activities here with pumpkin patches and corn mazes and all that kind of stuff, wedding venues all over the place because it is so pretty. And you can, when I talk about buying acreage property, rural land, you really have two different options. You can buy something that is more of the farmland aesthetic, that's more of a flat, wide open piece of land. And you can buy something that's very wooded, just surrounded by trees, typical Pacific Northwest style living. You have multiple different options. Here in Snohomish, you also have a lot of new construction communities that they've been building out because there is a good amount of land. Specifically in the south side of Snohomish, there's been a lot of new build communities that have gone up with homes ranging right in that $1 million, $1.2 million, $1.3 million price points for a brand new home. Commuting from Snohomish to Seattle or Bellevue, again, kind of like we talked about with Black Diamond, it's on the edge there. I certainly know people that do it. There's actually a number of people that I know that work at Microsoft and moved up to Snohomish specifically because one of two reasons. Either A, they can get a little bit more home for their money than they can closer to Microsoft in Redmond or Bellevue, and two, they may be looking for that lifestyle that provides a bit more space, a bit more privacy, a bit quieter of a lifestyle, have, a small acreage property, something like that. So there's a lot of people that work on that east side, Microsoft and surrounding companies, and live in Snohomish. All right, the last one here on the list, city number 1 with the most growth in median home values over the last 5 years is Lake Stevens, and it's actually the direct neighbor of Snohomish. Lake Stevens has seen a 96% increase in median home values over the last 5 years. Median home values are currently at about $852,000, up from $433,000 in 2019. Now you can see Lake Stevens right next door to Snohomish. Those home prices, median home prices, are still a bit lower than Snohomish are. So there's a lot of people that come here to get even a little bit more of a break on those home prices. Now, one of the reasons so many people have been attracted to Lake Stevens over the recent years is again because of those schools, like we've talked about with some of the other locations. When you compare it to the nearby immediately surrounding cities like Arlington and Marysville and Everett, Lake Stevens has one of the most desirable school districts in Snohomish County here. Outside of the school districts, you have Lake Stevens, the actual lake itself, which provides great recreation for all types of people, whether you've got a boat or jet skis you want to take out on the lake, or you want to go fishing, or you want to take the kids to the park and go swimming. There's 3 really great parks all around the lake, public parks all around the lake in Lake Stevens there, with swimming areas for the kids and playgrounds and picnic shelters and all sorts of stuff. There's a lot of community events. It's a really community-oriented city here in Lake Stevens with all sorts of events and whatnot for the family. Lake Stevens just got a brand new Costco. They are building absolutely everywhere here in Lake Stevens. As much new construction as they can fit in, they're putting in. So that's another reason why people are moving up here, is they're getting a nice brand new home for a fraction of the price that they can get on the east side, closer to those high-paying tech jobs. Similar to Snohomish, but again, a little bit even lower priced than Snohomish is. Outside of those new build homes, you do have some acreage properties, small acreage properties as well. Not quite as much as Snohomish will have, because Lake Stevens is just a smaller footprint, but you do have a number of homes that are going to be on 1 acre or 5 acres and provide kind of that semi-rural lifestyle that you might be looking for, while still being very close to everything that Lake Stevens offers when it comes to shopping and events and community stuff and all that kind of stuff surrounding the Lake Stevens area. All right, well, that caps off our list here of the 5 fastest growing suburbs just outside of Seattle. Like I said, if you're moving over here or you already live here and you're looking to find that right place to live, you're looking to buy a home, feel free to reach out to me. You can contact me at my info below, or just book a discovery call with me at the link below too. Thanks for watching this one.